My name's Michael Hawes. I'm a landscape architect and one of the partners of Mor. Trescobeas Park is located on the west side of Falmouth, currently a public open space. It's originally a landfill site, which was covered over and capped to make it safe in the, we believe in the 70s. Locally known as the dump, it's now frequently used and becoming more so, partly as a part of the master plan. We originally set up by Carrick Housing. We were then brought in to help out with the consultations and to involve as many people as possible to put together a master plan for the whole of the space, to include bike tracks, play facilities, recreation for as wide a range of users as possible.
Well, I think it's just great for everybody. You know, even if you're disabled or anything, you could come down here. You know, it's not just for the youngsters; it's for adults, everybody. I mean, we've got a lot of elderly people walking their dogs around and just taking leisurely strolls around the park as it is.
Before Mor Design actually come into this place, it was just literally an old tip which they just grassed over and just left go.
To get this done, working with Mor Design, it's the fact that as a community we're starting to come together more. That's the important thing, going back to communities and working together.
The old-fashioned way.
I think the very successful aspect of this project has been in terms of the community involvement. A lot more ownership has been taken over the space in terms of maintenance and just surveillance, and a lot less vandalism's been occurring, a lot less conflict between different age groups and different groups of people. The reason for that is that there has been a very strong community involvement, and I think that the momentum that it's gained is going to mean that that's going to carry on. The community are certainly taking on a lot more ownership and actually triggering new phases of development for themselves now, which is really positive for the local area, but also for Falmouth in general.
We've been delighted with the outcome, especially last year when Phase 1, which is just behind us, was opened. And we had a glorious day, where it was a painting day, where children were invited to come along and paint the tubes and so on behind. And it was an outstanding success. You remember that quite well, I expect.
Yes, I do. It's very good.
Yeah.
The construction process for Trescobeas was quite an interesting one, actually. Because it used to be a dump, therefore there's all sorts of rubbish underneath the surface there, including gases. Therefore there were certain areas where we couldn't actually do any construction works. On a couple of occasions we had to stop works because of the high risk of explosion, which is interesting.
So we've ended up with different phases, and with that it's just making it a place that is accessible for everybody, really, young and old. I just think it's a lovely spot when it's nice weather, especially, just pottering around and giving the dog a run. But I enjoy seeing the kids down here playing, because at one time there was nobody down here.
I like best about the bike track because it's got loads of cool stuff, and you can do jumps and all like that stuff on it. I like doing the ramps, and it's really cool, and I'm learning to do jumps on it, and I already know how to do wheelies on it. It's really fun.